What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Next Wave podcast. I'm one of your hosts, B. Zanny, joined by my co-host, D. Woody. And today we've got episode 55 for you. We're going to discuss a little bit of a quick hitter here at the beginning, get into the CDL recap, and then wrap it up with our coin segment, Pick and Bans. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's get right into the episode. All right, Dak, enough of the how was your day? How you doing? I got a strong question
Okay.
to start off this episode, okay?
Okay.
Got it across my TikTok. Let's see if I can shout him out real quick, just in case we want to use this as a clip. Million one video game. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find this guy. Okay, nothing even remotely close came up. But anyways, whoever, if the person that happened, smaller creator, don't know. No, we're not stealing it. I wanted to give you credit. You have to play one game for an entire year every day for, I think it was either 8 or 12 hours. Doesn't make a difference, honestly. Every day for a year straight for $1 million. What game are you choosing? And when I asked myself this question earlier today, I had an instant answer, but then I started thinking, like, I don't know. What if I want to get competitive? I instantly said Elden Ring.
Yeah, I was thinking that came across at first, but I'm thinking Rocket League, honestly.
And I was like, fuck, like,
I think I would
I'm
just
too
force
competitive.
myself to get in the lab, and I would be filthy after that year. It'd be
Of
fun
course,
as fuck.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah, it'd be
Especially
fun
with
as
your
fuck.
starting talent, like
If
where
I
you're
knew
at
I had
currently.
to just lock in for 8 hours a day, every day for 365 days, I could do that.
You know what would be a huge caveat? Can we make alt accounts? Because in that case, you could definitely go from like I'm sweating to I'm
Yeah.
I'm in the mental gutter. Like, what am I doing? Like, this is insane. I'm losing.
I think as long as it's the same game, it should count, no matter what account you're on.
I agree. I feel like alt accounts is fine.
Yeah. Besides Rocket League, though, I think Elden Ring would be fun, but also you'd have to really like switch things up over the course of a year.
I mean, luckily we have a plethora of YouTube videos for ideas on like people like. I mean, you could. I mean, there's like 14 days right off the bat if they only took you that long. Could be multiple days, but like if you only leveled one stat, right? Like I only leveled this, and then no hits and whatever stuff could
just
take
different
a
builds
while.
in general. Like I would just be. You'd have to really get creative. Just get bored and find new things to do.
I saw CS a lot, which I was like, wow. Like, you've been playing it for 20 years at this point, so I guess, what's another year, but
I could do
that's
CS
insane.
because I feel like I'd be into skins and I'd just be on the market most of the time.
I couldn't do a shooter. I just feel like doing a shooter is just
COD
wanting to kill yourself.
Miserable. COD would be so miserable, dude.
And if you started it at a certain point where a new one came out, you couldn't even play the new one.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, bro. Imagine having to play BO6 through like a new
Yo,
COD.
wait, Dak, we're not thinking.
What?
We've got Fortnite and Roblox, which you can play all
Roblox.
sorts of games on.
But you'd be like, bro, like this is the dumbest shit. After a while, you'd be like, these games are so pointless.
I think
Fortnite would be better.
I actually think Fortnite might be my answer because
Fortnite would give you a lot of variety.
I can play OG, I can play current, I can play no build, I can play build, I can play fucking Restaurant Tycoon if I fucking wanted to.
Wait,
and
did
then
you say
also
that one
have
Valorant mode that they added?
Not ballistic. I mean, you can play that, and that's only an alpha. Like that probably would come out a better. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Fortnite, bro.
Yeah, honestly, that's not a bad shout. I feel like
think
Fortnite
and
would
Rocket League
definitely
are
be
two great picks.
the least amount of burnout on Fortnite for sure.
Absolutely. That's the sole reason I would choose it,
bro,
honestly.
Yeah, that might be the move.
Because guess what's also in there? Rocket Race.
Yeah.
And the band thing, and Lego, bro. I could play fucking the Lego mode, play Fortnite, bro. Which had hella updates, like I haven't even played.
Oh, I think Fortnite's the move. I think we could get through a full year easy on Fortnite. Oh yeah.
Easily.
Okay.
Yeah, Fortnite's definitely the move. But yeah, I saw that TikTok this morning and I was like, I need to bring that up on the pod. But like my first thought was Elden Ring, which leads into our quick hitter today. The Elden Ring Night Reign, which is the roguelite multiplayer co-op experience that just went into, it's not even an alpha, it's a network test. So I guess if anything, it might be considered a pre-alpha, or it might even be considered an alpha, because it was console only, so I was limited to I guess 60 FPS on the Xbox Series S, and it was running very smoothly. I don't know if I think it has the capacity to get 120, but I'm assuming Elden Ring does not run at 120.
Yeah.
And so, because I remember I was watching a Jev video and he said something about getting 60 frames or something like that. And I'm assuming he has better than what I was rocking.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I got invited to play it. Fortunately, I had time for the last session on Sunday night from 9 p.m. to midnight. And I only played 2 games, but I definitely got what I needed from it. And I was able to watch some creators, a couple videos from creators too. So first impressions, was our question was the replayability and what are we playing for. I definitely think that is still a valid concern. Because you pick your character, you look the same every time, right, which is fine. You load in there, the circle starts moving very quickly. Like if you find a boss right off spawn, and you're towards the edge of the map usually, I believe, when you spawn in. If you find, like we found Loretta off spawn my first go around, and we spent probably 4 minutes, which is a long time because we first run. It was definitely their first time too. And it took too long. Storm was on us. Storm was not crazy. Like you can't outrun it. Storm's deadly. Like it seems pretty balanced. But eventually you could find a run, since it was the same every time, and upon the actual drop here in May, it should be more randomized. Because when you went in, you chose one of the missions, and it was the top of like a bunch of empty space below it. So I'm assuming they're going to have different settings.
Right.
And so I definitely thought the actual gameplay was super fun. Ran into a lot of Elden Ring items and whatnot. You can get talismans, and all the weapons come with Ash of Wars on it, so you don't have to worry about, does this have the right Ash of War or not. And then you just level up your character base, like you just level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it
start
does
at
the
1 every single time.
Yes, you start at 1 every single time, and you just, based on whatever class that you pick, that's what gets upgraded.
Gotcha.
And so I think I was seeing most people trying to get around anywhere between level 10 and 15. I think I got up to like 8 or 9. And at the end of each night is a boss. And I think you keep going, and I think night 3 is the last night, if I'm not mistaken.
Night 3, you just spawn at the final boss. You don't. It's not even a day.
Gotcha.
You're just there.
And so I didn't get to that point, but this is to come to the conclusion that there definitely needs to be more to play for post lobby, because you get back to the round table and there's one thing that you can do, and it's just these little power-ups for your character. Like
they just kind of raise your base stats or something.
Yeah, it'd be like, for my class, which was warrior, reduces stamina by 2% needed for an attack or something. Like, I don't even know if that's real, but that's an example. First run through, I didn't even get an upgrade or whatever that pertained to my class.
Damn.
So like, there is some RNG to what items you get afterwards, and they didn't even pertain to my class. But that's with them saying, play other classes, right?
Yeah.
Because you can still apply them, but if you don't use that class, it doesn't apply to you. So I definitely think that they have a big opportunity here with cosmetics, considering that you upgrade in the game. And I don't recall coming across any armor. It's only weapons and items and stuff. So they definitely have a strong opportunity here to include armor sets that you can utilize XP upon finishing a certain night, or get
challenge based, like beat the final boss this many times,
exactly.
Get this armor, like that'd be sick.
Exactly, that would be dope. And so they have the easiest job ever to incorporate armor sets from DS1, 2, 3, and Elden Ring. But I really hope they come with some fresh stuff and maybe different colorways of previous existing armor. So they have a strong opportunity there for rewards and for a reason to come back and play. But there also definitely needs to be some sort of account leveling system where you're grinding, like prestiging in COD, leveling up and prestiging in COD in that sense is I definitely think needed as well. Because right now there really was no replayability other than a different game that felt like Elden Ring.
Yeah, I just think, or my hope is this was just the network test. Obviously, in the base game, the maps are random every single time. The locations on the map are randomized. Hopefully they add armor and a ton of other stuff, just a more polished game all around. I think this was just a base game, as simple as they could make it, just to see if it's working and, get some stats on performance and stuff, because obviously it completely crashed at first on the first day.
That's what it's literally for that, so it's fine.
So overall though, got potential.
Super high potential. Only gameplay thing that I was misled by the trailer is that it's just the riding the bird or whatever is just
you just go straight up
cutscene and straight. Yeah, you can very much just fly down onto the surface, and you don't get too much extra gain. If I were to go straight down off spawn, and if someone were to fly as far as possible, it might be like going from the first step to Tree Sentinel.
Okay.
Like that might be the difference there.
Yeah.
And so one thing they did that was really cool to help avoid storm and get from place to place is there's no fall damage.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. But I think if you're jumping from a certain height, kind of like in Warzone, you should be able to pick your bird up. I don't know if it would break the movement, make it too fast to where you're getting to the boss too quick or different churches. But I think that would be cool, just as an added concept is, if it's high enough, you should be able to pull out your glider type shit.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely. So that was our little Night Reign preview. Super lucky to be able to play it early. That was really fun, and look forward to it coming out in May. But we got to get to this past first weekend of qualifying matches for Major 2. We've got the minor coming up after Weekend 2, and we'll look ahead to the Weekend 2 matches as well. But looking at this past weekend that happened, first matchup was LA Thieves versus Carolina Royal Ravens. This was an absolute DoorDash snooze. 3-0 smoke from the LA Thieves. And one thing I'll say about this series, I have never seen the art of kill whoring more than I have from Gwyn in this series.
And that's
dude.
what Envoy talked about. I did see that interview.
Yeah, and I didn't really. I mean, you can tell. Like me personally, I could tell just by his KD and the score line. But hearing Envoy say it, I was like, oh, okay, he could tell just by playing against him.
Yeah.
Because you don't lose by 100 in a hard point when you're double positive, bro. Like he dropped 38 and 26.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I mean, Vivid got shit on, but they've won matches with that happening. And the other two carried their weight. So like in that scenario, like bro was just kill whoring and then proceeded to get shit on in map 2 and then did some more kill whoring in map 3 where they only won one round of control and he went 30 and 24.
Yeah.
So he had a 1.25 overall, but contributed to 0 success in this series. And now it was just like, wow, this looked like that.
Yeah, man. Thieves obviously just have the Ravens number right now. And the fact that Envoy went rogue in that interview, which is a great interview, like they were asking good questions and got it out of them. But Yeah, he just said Gwyn was absolutely in meaningless spots on the map. Like, you could just tell he wasn't playing for the win, and it was just pissing them off, so they were shitting on him even harder.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, I mean, it was literally just the quickest series ever.
Yeah.
Everyone, I mean, Envoy went a little negative, but obviously look at the score line. And that maybe he was just getting killed by Gwyn the whole time, and that's why he said it, and that's why he's negative. So, either way, LA Thieves get a swift 3-0. Next match up was Battle of Some Green, Boston Breach versus the Vegas Falcons. Vegas get another search on the board.
No.
Or I'm sorry, a control on the board.
Look
Is
at
that their first respawn
It's
win?
their second control of the year.
Okay.
And
gotcha.
That's their, second respawn.
And so their hardpoint struggles continue. They have an average differential of like 70 to 80 between there. And I'm telling you, there is no skew. Like there's no one where they scored 240 and one where they scored 80 and it averaged out and they still have this average. I'm telling you, they are always in between 170 and 200, bro.
Yeah,
obviously there's a couple maps, but they are always good for 170,
That's
bro.
crazy.
I swear.
Yeah.
And they can never get past that. But we had a good series from Cammy, which you wanted to see. Unfortunately, it's against the Vegas Falcons, so I can't put too much behind it. And on the other side of things, King and Xnid, who have the highest expectations, went positive. Very high damage in the series, but they just aren't clicking as a team, which it's hard to do when you've had several different four-man rosters.
Yeah.
So yeah, Boston Breach get a free dub here, 3-1.
Okay, this wasn't the series, so I'll get to it next series. But I did want to say Cammy has been struggling like at the major and the minor. So it's good to see him pick it back up because I really thought going into the minor, like Boston Breach was a really good team, should be top 6 competing for that 4th spot. And they just kind of were lackluster at the major, lost to C9. So, I think they should just keep it up and, this team's not bad. I like them, but they have a tendency to struggle, some of them.
They're just going to be a team where you need you just need all 4.
Snoopy,
well.
For the most part, Snoopy goes off almost every time, but
yeah, he's been playing really good.
And Purge has had moments where he's playing really good, but Purge also has Purge series from last year, so yeah, they're just inconsistent, but I like them. I still like them. I still think, they could make a good run at one of these tournaments for sure.
For sure. Last match of Friday, we had Atlanta FaZe going up against Vancouver Surge.
Yeah.
Neptune stepping into the lineup, and they actually do the unthinkable and 3-1 Atlanta FaZe. FaZe took the first hard point, and then Surge rattled off 3 in a row. Not only that, they 3-0'd them in the control, and then won by over 100 in the map 4 hard point on protocol. So.
Damn.
Very dominant series, and a crazy one from Nasty with 98 kills in 4 maps and a 1.42 most damage in the lobby.
Nasty, man. I love Nasty.
That's insane to see coming from him, especially as an AR on the team going up against a strong AR duo in Draza and Celium. So, I mean, Abizi went positive, but other than that, it's a red carpet from the Atlanta FaZe, and this was not expected from the Surge, but they come out and make it happen.
Yeah, and shout out to Neptune. I kind of just am tired of seeing these same people get recycled in the league, and then nothing really happens, but no, Neptune's been working his ass off, and he came out and fried this weekend, both series, so shout out Neptune. This team definitely got better, and shout out to Nasty, bro. Plus 29 against FaZe. Evil Scump going crazy, bro. Typical series out of Nasty.
Then we get into the weekend here. First match of Saturday, we had Boston Breach versus Gentlemates. Boston are able to take this one 3-2. It was a dirty Neslo as they take the Search 6-4, the Control 3-1, and the last map 5 Vault Search 6-2. Tough series for the ARs on the side of Gentlemates. Granted, they barely went negative, but they did win both of the respawn, the hard points. So, when you factor that into the equation, that's not those 0.9s don't look as good. On the other side of things, Awakening having a very, very poor series, and still getting the dub. So that's good to see. Snoopy having a great series, as we said. S&D's winning them this match, and Gentlemates continue to struggle. But lucky for them, they made a change finally. They actually dropped Priesta. They move him to the bench, so he's still on the team. And they picked up Lunars from Challengers, who I've definitely thrown his name out there over the past year or so as a potential pickup. I'm surprised it took this long with how often people are brought up in Challengers and talked about, like Lunars was back at the beginning of, end of MW2, beginning of MW3. Usually it takes an event or two of bad performances for teams to pick up that name. And he's been that name.
Was he on a Wababobs?
No, that was Abuza, Cobra, and other two. I don't remember, but no, he was not on a Wababobs. He could have been. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget what team he was on in MW2, but
I'm pretty sure he was a part of that Omit team in MW. Was he not with Purge that won champs?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
I don't know.
I don't think he was. But regardless, he was on a top 4 team. Been on a top 4 team, I'm pretty sure, in Challengers the past 2 titles. So we'll see if Gentlemates can make any changes going forward. They won both respawns here and struggled in the S&Ds. So we need to see if he's able to help in the S&D category, not just slaying power.
Yeah, for sure. 9 months ago, he was on Omit with Temp, Dak, Lunars, and Eric Boom.
Yeah, okay.
So solid little squad.
Solid little squad. The next match of the day, I lost myself here. Here we go. Miami versus Minnesota Rocker. Miami coming up a top 3 placement at LAN. As I said in the major recap, I think that was not a fluke, but I don't think they're obviously a Sunday team. They come out, narrowly win the first hard point by 2 points, and lose the next 3 maps. The control and the map 4 hardpoint being convincing wins from Rocker. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of this Rocker team. Just need Paul X to step up a little bit, and he comes in with a 1.1 as well. So really, really good to see that from Paul. Whenever you do see that, you're going to win the series. So not only that, the map 4 on a Mixie Vault sub-heavy map, he was able to drop 33 and 30, which is definitely above his pace on those kind of maps. So good to see from Paul, and a good dub from Rocker. I'm very high on them.
Yeah, me too, dude. Rocker is really good. I like watching them because they team shot all the time.
Oh yeah,
Geo,
they're always together.
That man Geo flies in out of nowhere on camera like all the time. Like they'll be on Estriel's POV, you just see Geo dive in, fucking get a kill you. Like damn, bro, these dudes are cracked. So I love Rocker. Yeah. Again, you're right. Paul X is the X factor. If he can just consistently start to, drop decent numbers, like they could win against anybody. These dudes are some friars. So shout out to Rocker.
Absolutely. And then the next match of the day, we had the debut of Pred's return. Unfortunately, it was against FaZe, who were coming off a upset loss against Seattle Surge. So maybe you were thinking, oh, FaZe is in a weird post major lull and whatnot. That's not the case. They come out in 3-0 OpTic very, very swiftly, by 80 points in the hard point, 6-4 in the S&D, and they 3-0 them in the control. And unfortunately for OpTic, Pred was their best player, not only in the numbers but in the decision making, in the plays that he was making. He was just the better player. So we'll get to OpTic's second match, but it's really not looking good for them. Definitely a good bounce back on the side of FaZe. Everyone over a 1.26 except for Abizi, which is kind of absurd, but it was just a massacre. So
yeah, man, not the start I wanted to see with Pred returning. I thought they might just come back and be in form, but that is not the case at all. So
not the case.
We'll get more in depth about that next OpTic series.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the last match of the weekend, so stay tuned for that here in a moment. Last match of Saturday, we had Cloud9 New York going up against Toronto Ultra. This one I thought was going to be somewhat good series, maybe going map 5 with Toronto taking it, if not in 4. But C9 New York come out strong and 3-0 Toronto Ultra. Not only that, they did it very convincingly. 250 to 178 in the hard point, 6-1, 3-1. Everyone positive on the side of New York. Joe Deceives, the only one positive on the side of Ultra. The map one, I mean, Kleenex had a pretty bad map, but other than that, it was just being outplayed and out-rotated by the side of New York. And then they just got world starred in the search. Insight, the only one who could pick up kills. And then we had, some more stinkers in the Hacienda Hardpoint. Cloud9 was just clicking, man. Sib had a great series with a 1.33. Most damage in the lobby by almost 1,000, so he was putting down damage. It just looked like they were all on the same page this series. They looked like they were communicating well. They were in the right spots, and they were playing off each other on rotation. So I don't know what changes they made post major, but they came and showed up here against Toronto.
Yeah, this was shocking. I thought for sure Toronto would win this series. So
yeah.
Shout out to Cloud9. I mean, they have a really good coaching staff and Lamar in them. So, these dudes are all good players. Like, I trust them to figure it out if they stay together and, play better than they did split one because, there's nowhere to go but up. Really, they had a better major than they were performing at the minor and all the other stuff. But, yeah, this is a shocking series, bro. I was not expecting this.
Yeah. Shout out Cloud9. We'll see if they can keep it going moving forward. And I mean, it was against a good team in Toronto, so there's value to take from that win.
Yeah.
Getting into the Sunday matches, last match day of the weekend, we had Falcons going up against Thieves, and this was just an absolute diff, except for the search. I'm assuming that they were trying out some new strats or going for a no comms challenge or something in search because they just looked absolutely lost on the skyline, and Falcons take it 6-1. But other than that, it was complete dominance out of LA Thieves, and Dahum having a crazy series with the most damage in the lobby and the second highest KD. So obviously in the respawns, it didn't really amount to much, but he went 10-1 in the S&D, helping them get that dub. So, Falcons, it's good to see that you can keep up with the best in search. But it is online, and you're still not winning.
I wanted to highlight Wixel, Objective Demon, 0 hill time in map 4.
No way!
0.
Oh my god, that's insane.
What the fuck is he doing, bro?
Bro, get near the hill,
what
Weasel.
What is he doing, bro?
Weasel's tripping out.
That's
bro.
why they didn't score
He's
150
allergic.
This time, bro.
Yep.
And then map 1, Doom had 18. Like, they just weren't on hill, bro. It's just bad. Like, these dudes are so far behind in hardpoint, bro. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch.
They need to figure it out. But getting into the next match here.
Real quick.
What?
ASIM got moved to their academy team, which is interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, previously, I'm pretty sure it was also all MENA players, if I'm not mistaken. So, seeing that they're willing to adjust their academy team to some, North American talent, it might be a hint at some future decisions, down the line. Maybe Clayster was in there, like, talking to the GM at Falcons and was like, if y'all want to win, like, this is, like, unfortunately, like, this isn't the way to do it.
I would assume
he couldn't
Clay
convince
has
them.
been trying that for
sure. And maybe he couldn't convince them, but he convinced them to test it out with their challengers team, maybe, and that's why they brought in Asim.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting to the next match, we have Toronto Ultra versus Carolina Royal Ravens. And Toronto bounced back from their loss against New York in 3-1 Carolina. Carolina starting off 0-2 this stage, so looking very different than to their start last stage. Vivid had a great series, but everyone else kind of fell flat. They were able to take the control 3-1 pretty single-handedly, and other than the round 11 win from Ultra, the 2 hard points were pretty convincing for them. So I don't really know what to think about this Carolina team right now because the problem's definitely not Vivid, to be honest. So I just think they haven't been clicking at all 4 at the same time these past 2 matches, and it's not helping them out by any means.
Yeah, I saw a clip of like the flank talking about them, saying that they're just fucking not even regressing. They just haven't progressed at all since like the minor.
There's a saying for that, like, no progression is degression or something like that. There's like a saying. if you're not moving forward, you're moving backward or something like that.
Yeah.
So
they are.
That's definitely describing them.
Yeah, and this team, I like them, but I don't know. They're kind of pissing me off lately with the kill horn and all that shit. Like, maybe they got some egos for a second there. I don't know, bro. They're acting like they're better than they're playing right now. So
yeah,
Absolutely. This is a good bounce back from Ultra though. The round 11 win is clutch, and Joe DeCeves has been playing out of his goddamn mind this year. So shout out Joe.
He has. Yeah, him being in a very system oriented and structured environment has very, very much paid off for him.
Yeah, for sure. I think last year was a really good step in his development, being at Thieves and having that staff around him. That was a good place for him. So shout out Joe.
I agree.
We're seeing more talent rise to the top.
That's about time.
Yeah.
Next match was Vancouver Surge versus C9 New York, both coming off of impressive wins, 1-0 to start their stage. And Vancouver take this one in the map 5. The first S&D actually was dominance by the side of C9, but the map 5 was dominance by Surge, 6-1. And Neptune showing out again with 110 kills and a 1.11. He was absolutely frying. Crimp on the other side of things had a great series. Sib again had a good series, so that's good to see if you're a C9 fan. Seeing Sib, be able to string together two good series individually. But Vancouver Surge are looking like a new team.
Yeah.
With the in a positive light. Just got to see if it's honeymoon or if it's actual real practical stuff, which just substantially or whatever. Don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm not calling it a honeymoon, because just based on what Neptune brings to the table and how good we know Abuza is,
and how Hixie was playing before this, like Neptune's a big upgrade so far.
Exactly. So hoping to see that continue if you're a Surge fan.
Yeah, for sure. This is crazy. I mean, this year is so competitive with these middle teams. So
yep,
this is going to be interesting going into the minor.
And then we round the series off with OpTic Texas versus Rocker. OpTic looking for a chance to bounce back from an unfortunate showing against FaZe, against what most would call a inferior team to FaZe in Rocker. But this did not go the way that OpTic wanted to. Rocker 3-0 smoked them. I knew this would be a tough series for OpTic after seeing the FaZe series, but I was hoping it'd go at least freaking map 4. But Rocker just... overall, they play so cohesively together and have so much firepower because of the pace that they play at. And with the current space that OpTic's in, they just got 3-0 smoked. And Kitty had a 0.59, another really bad series from Kenny. He has been really, really bad this stage. Yeah. I mean, map 1, he had 41 deaths as the AR. Map 3, he had 39 deaths as the AR. So he was just dying left and right, not picking up trades, not getting kills.
But he's still doing the shit where he'll die like 12 times in a row.
I know.
It's not like
he's just playing really bad.
Yeah, that's
insane. A lot of things can contribute to that, having to play off where your teammates playing, the pace of your teammates, but
and he's that type of
That's just not the issue. That's not the issue. I just think he's not playing well. He's missing his timings. He's not in an interview with one of the Breaking Point podcasts, or the one with Accuracy's cousin or whatever. They interviewed Paul X, and he just said every time I ran into Kenny, it just looked like he was not ready. Wow. He just didn't expect me to be there, or he didn't think he had the timing or whatnot. But he just looked kind of lost whenever I ran into him. So. You got Paul X saying that about you. That's how you know you're playing bad. So
okay,
OpTic are in a really rough spot right now.
I have a fun fact for you. There's only 4 players that have played this year that have a worse KD than Kenny. None of them are in the league anymore.
Yeah, I saw that.
And guess who's just above Kenny? Paul X.
Yep.
I mean, that's crazy.
He can talk
Super, shit? Hixie, Roxas, and King of Body are the only people worse than Kenny in KD. Now... also, fun fact, Kix had the highest KD of the year, but he only played a few matches. So really, if you take him away, Hook has the highest KD of the year so far.
Wow.
So it's tragic right now for OpTic. They need a big turnaround. Big turnaround. This is not looking good. It's a complete train wreck at the moment.
Yep. Very, very bad scenes for OpTic right now. They really need to make some changes, or Kenny needs to get through this lull, or whatever it may be, because I think it's directly affecting Shotzi's performance. Just because I think a lot of the openings that Kenny makes and the kills that he provides open up a lot of lanes for Shotzi, and I think that Shotzi's going to be able to win those fights because his individual performance is still really high. Kenny's just doesn't have those timings and is not winning those fights, so that is going to hinder, I think, Shotzi's gameplay a little bit there. So they definitely have some kinks to work out. But let's go ahead and look ahead to this weekend's matches. Let me get down here. So Friday, first match, we got Minnesota Rocker versus Carolina Royal Ravens.
Rocker.
I think Rocker might. I think Rocker. I'm gonna go Rocker. Yeah, I'm gonna say 3-1. I think Carolina may steal the map 1, but I don't see them winning. Or no, they're gonna steal the map 3. Yeah. Actually, they're gonna take the control unless it's protocol. Heretics versus Gentlemates. I'm gonna go with some honeymoon cheese here. I'm gonna take Gentlemates. 3-2.
Yeah, I'm with that. Also, I would assume Super is not playing because Metals was just sick.
Yeah. This is with the understanding that Super's not playing.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm with you. Let's vote on the honeymoon cheese. Get their first dub.
Yep. Falcons versus Cloud9. I'm gonna take Cloud9 3-0. I think they'll take. It seems every time that the Falcons win a search, they lose it in the next series or something along those lines. So I'm going to take 3-0 New York. Saturday, we got FaZe versus Miami. I'm going to go 3-0 FaZe.
Yeah.
And then we got Carolina versus OpTic.
Oh, this is going to be a fucking drama-filled match, bro, depending on what happens.
I think it goes map 5, and
Gwen double-birded us when they eliminated us, bro. This is going to be some shit.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen this series. I mean, I'll just go with a biased 3-2 OpTic.
I'm waiting on OpTic to just come back and win a series and look good. So, come on.
Yeah.
Please be
Then we have Gentlemates versus Vancouver Surge. I just think Vancouver are in a great spot right now. I got them 3-0.
Yeah. I'll say 3-1. Give them a little series. Okay. Lunar's going crazy.
Toronto Ultra versus Boston Breach. I think this is going to be a banger series. And this is kind of a two-way redemption. Obviously Beans was on Toronto and Beans was on Boston, and Cammy was on Toronto at one point. So there's a little bit of either respect for the other camp and just wanting to have those bragging rights, or there's some bad blood there. So this is going to be a great series in my opinion. I'm going to take Toronto 3-1.
I'm saying 3-2 map 5 banger. Toronto.
Okay. Yeah, I think Toronto take it either way. Joe Deceives masterclass.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, we got Rocker versus Falcons. Take Rocker 3-0. Just too much teamwork there. Then we got Toronto Ultra versus LA Thieves. Hopefully this will be an interesting series to watch. I'm going to say 3-1. I think Toronto takes the search.
Yeah, I'm with that.
All right. And then
rematch Cloud9 versus Boston Breach. Rematch from the major. That'll be a good ass series.
Versus Boston. Wait, where I lost my.
Well, that's the matchup.
Yes. Last match on Sunday. Why do we have one less match?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, actually.
But yeah, last match of the weekend, we got C9 New York versus Boston Breach. I think obviously this is. Before we see what happens in both of their prior matches. But I'm going to go Cloud9 here. 3-1.
I got Boston Revenge 3-2. Cammy S&D Masterclass, map 5.
Wow. Bold.
Yep.
Okay. Fair. All right, well, that was our CDL recap and our look ahead to week 2 of the Major 2 qualifiers. Let's go ahead and wrap this episode up with our coin segment, Pick and Bans. All right, I'll go ahead and start us off here. My pick for this week, and apologies in advance, both of mine are Marvel related.
Okay.
The Spider-Man animated TV show that came out, I think it was a week or two ago. It's a take on the classic Spider-Man animated TV shows, and it's got more of a comic book animation to it. I kind of, it looks almost like Arthur, but with more frames per second.
Yeah.
And so far the storylines have been really good. They utilize some of the storyline from the MCU, but but they have their own little twist on it. So far, we've seen a Venom and a Doctor Strange in this already, so and Daredevil, so they're incorporating a lot of other characters, and they're 10 episodes in. I've watched them all, and it's really, really good. So shout out to them for making a good piece of Marvel content. So and I'm the biggest Spider-Man fan, so definitely was looking forward to it, and I'm glad it's good.
Hell yeah. My pick is the city of Austin, Texas. Sick ass city. I went there last weekend for a bachelor party. Just the restaurants alone make the city dope. Like, there's some fire food in that city. And then one day we took Lime scooters around to breweries. We went to just 4 different breweries, and it was awesome. They were all super cool. One of them was themed I don't know. I felt like I was at Universal Studios in the Sinbad world. They had this
The what?
Sinbad, that movie?
No.
It's a movie set in the Middle East, and that was kind of the vibe of this place. It was a Prince of Persia vibe,
Right, yeah, that's exactly what I thought of.
So it was fucking dope. I felt like I was in a different world when we were in there, and then we just take a scooter, go somewhere else. Some other place had a Nintendo 64, and we all played NFL Blitz. It was fun.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, and then, of course, 6th Street is awesome. So, yeah, Austin, sick-ass city. I absolutely abused my body for 4 days. Still recovering. It was a fun time, though.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and fuck, I was gonna say something. Oh, and I'm glad I didn't ask you, how you been, because you would have talked about that in the beginning for sure. So we got to save that for your pick.
Yes, sir.
And so, like I said, both of mine are Marvel related. Mine is Twitter movie critics, and I say Twitter because that's where I see this stuff.
Right.
It may be Twitter post taking it from somewhere else, but everybody, especially with Marvel movies, because of the fall off, which is warranted. The critique is warranted, but these days, man, people just don't want to go to the movies to be entertained. They want to go to the movies to see if it's better than their favorite, or to see if it's better than the last one in its line of movies.
That's so true.
Me and my fiance went and saw Captain America: Brave New World on Valentine's. That's one of our favorite things to do, is go to the theaters and watch Marvel movies. And I told her the day before, I was like, I am purely going in this to be entertained. I'm done with the MCU hype and craziness. Now I still have that innate passion for it, but it died with Iron Man. It died with Iron Man. And so I was like, I'm going into this to purely be entertained. I saw on Thursday night, people were saying, okay, this isn't the typical Marvel flop of recency. And then the next day, when the public was able to see it, and it wasn't just Thursday night showings, it was getting bad reviews. And I was like, what the? I was like, oh, okay, this is weird. Interesting. And so we went and saw it. Great movie.
Really?
Really, really, really good. It had a Winter Soldier darker tone to it. Sam Wilson is great as Captain America. Anthony Mackie, and Harrison Ford. The Red Hulk thing was really cool. My only complaint is that they could have definitely kept Red Hulk a secret in the trailers, or at least the parallel. No, it would have been obvious if they showed Red Hulk but didn't make it apparent that it was Harrison Ford. It would have been real easy to say. they should have kept Red Hulk a secret. Other than that, I thought it was a great movie. I was very entertained. The CGI was really good. The storyline was fine. And the dynamic between him and Joaquin, which is like the little his little Hispanic mentoree from the end of, or from the TV show Captain America and Winter Soldier. Their dynamic is really, really cool. I really like that Joaquin actor. And yeah, I thought it was really good. And I think people on Twitter and these critics are just like, I just hate them.
Yeah.
They just don't want to be entertained. They just want to compare it to other movies, and that's it.
Well, good, bro, because judging off the trailer, like, first time I saw it, I was actually excited to go see this movie. Yeah.
No.
And then I've seen nothing but hate ever since. But
no, it's unwarranted.
Yeah.
Like, if you want a valid review, look up Straw Hat Goofy. He does good reviews, and his was a little bit more critique than we would, because it's his job. But like his review of it was good.
Okay, hell yeah. Well, then I'll definitely have to check it out.
Absolutely.
All right, to wrap it up, my ban. It is now 0 degrees here, and my shower pipes are frozen. I don't have a shower, and they're probably gonna burst tomorrow.
Ooh, so I need to start dripping my my faucets.
Yep, I dripped everything too. I even dripped the shower, and that shit still froze. It's not built for 0 degree weather. It must not be insulated very well or something. I don't know. But I was Googling shit all morning trying to fix it. Called maintenance. They never came. It's a mess. It's a mess. I'm scared the pipe's going to break and something bad's going to happen.
So you can't shower?
Nope. I took a sink shower this morning.
Fuck.
Yep.
That's tough, bro. Hopefully that gets fixed.
Yeah, as soon as the road's clear, I'm showering at fucking the gym.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that's tough. Hopefully that gets fixed soon. But that was episode 55. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back next week to cover next week of CDL matches and anything else that's going on in the gaming space. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. And we'll see y'all in the next episode. Deuces.